What's going on, guys? Episode 9 of the We've Got with Being Your show here. I hope you're all doing fine this Sunday evening. This is going live out on Twitch, and I've actually done my restream.io this week, so it's going on to Twitter as well as Twitch. I stopped it going from YouTube because I kept on getting copyright strikes for the music that I was playing, so unfortunately it's not going on to that. I'll put an edited version out, as well as going to SoundCloud probably later on tonight or perhaps tomorrow. That's probably the best intro that I've ever done without ballsing it up, so I'm pretty happy about that. This week is I've got a guest who I've known for over 10 years. He is one of my best friends, a person who I knock about with, who we've grown up with, and he goes by the name of what do you want to go by? Lawrence.
Anything you want.
So we'll call him Lawro for this then. He has been knocking around my streams. We've been playing a lot of Radical Lights together the last couple of days, and so you may or may not have seen him in that stream. But yeah, it's just something. No swearing this week. Yeah, I'm going to try and lower it down a little bit. I don't want to make it family friendly. I just want to make it so that I'm not saying, do you know what I mean? Fuck, shit, or cunt every 2 seconds. Because when I listen to it back, I just sound like even more chavvy than I actually am. So I'm going to try not to do that. Get the swear jar. In fact, you can put something like that in the stream. I might do that. I might end up doing that eventually. But I can see a lot of people are starting to follow through now. Not in the poo way, but coming through to the chat. Ice Cream Uploads, if you're not wearing the suit, then I'm leaving instantly. There isn't any suit today. It's just the shirt that I'm wearing. The champions, the record breakers. Wearing that today. Last week it was a gravy stained shirt from my Sunday lunch. It was exactly that. It was on a big dock off stain in the front of my shirt. The intro is something else. Yes, Ryan. Oh, I'm just going to shout out Ryan while we are live, but he just dropped a mad DM into my Twitter feed before and said, have you played God of War yet? And I'm like, no, I'll go away next week, so I've not been able to afford it or anything. Just drops a code in for the new God of War game so I can play it. Do you know what I mean? Absolute legend, and that's something that obviously I'm going to crack on the streams with at some point this week. So yeah, that's a big shout out to him, absolute geezer. This is obviously going live on Twitter as well, so if you are watching it on Twitter, feel free to get involved. Everything that comments that you do comes through to the stream, so I'll be able to see it and respond back to you. I just put it on there so that other people who don't have a Twitch account but have a Twitter account are able to get involved. Obviously you don't want to make people jump through hoops to be able to get involved with stuff, so if you are on Twitter you can obviously join in. While we're live, while we're not live you won't be able to, so you'll probably listen to this on SoundCloud or something. But yeah, how have you been, mate? I know that you went to go and get your tattoo done and everything yesterday, but apart from that, how have you been this week?
Yeah, good, mate. So the Infinity Wars, absolute belter, mate. Absolute belter. No spoilers.
Yeah, I'm going to watch it on Wednesday.
And whatnot. I could easily watch it again.
Did you go IMAX?
It's one of those, yeah. No, I didn't this time because I just thought, quick, get it in before all these spoilers. So I might go next week.
I'm doing it. I'm doing IMAX on Wednesday.
Obviously, get the. Mate, it's sick.
Do you know what I heard as well? Beautiful. That in the IMAX version, it's actually longer than the normal 3D or normal version because there was bits that they had to specifically film with the 10K cameras or whatever it is for use for IMAX, but the film couldn't fit into a normal cinema film camera. So the film's apparently like 10 minutes long. That's only second-hand information that I've heard that from. So it could be absolute bollocks.
Yeah, it's 2.5 hours. But then I won't spoil it. But there's one credit scene, but it's right at the end. But those credits seem like half an hour. It's about 4 minutes, but it felt like half an hour. The music went really intense, and you thought, "This is it. No, it's not." Bit more music, and it's like, bloody hell, you're drawing this out. And then obviously when it came on,
awesome.
Right.
Yeah. To be fair, I like it. For the last 3 weeks of the build up to Infinity War, I've just been like, I really can't be arsed. Like, I feel like for me, I have this conversation in work all the time. For me, the whole comic book superhero thing, I think it's the same thing over and over again. The reason I like Deadpool so much and like the likes of Ant-Man and things like that is that they're starting to move away from the PG era type of film, so they're going to be a lot more adult orientated, which I like more because obviously not just because it's got swearing, but a lot more blood, gore. actual when they get hit, things happen rather than them just falling to the floor. Do you know what I mean?
Which is like the comics, and that's
I feel like it's right. I feel like these comic book films are starting to run the course, and I think they've been doing what? When did Iron Man 1 come out? Was it like 2006 maybe?
Marvel Studios is 10 years old, I believe, this year. So it's 10 years. So, 2000.
Yeah, well, that's even better. Yeah. So it's just one of them things now. I think they're starting to come to a head where we don't need these type of films. I feel like how many times can Loki and Thor become they're going to get back together, or brothers are going to take out the world, and then one of them betrays them, and then they get back together again, and the other one betrays them, and it's just like, Jesus Christ, it's the same thing over and over again, which is why I'm so excited about Deadpool coming out, because it comes out while I'm on holiday, so literally as soon as I land back in the UK, I'm going watching it. Do you need to see the other films, or are you good to go? Heard a lot about this Infinity War on Twitter. Ideally, 100%, yeah, you would need to have a look at what. Yeah, because otherwise you'd just be 2.5 hours of what's going on here. Just like you probably enjoy the film, but you won't know what's going on. Your head will be left spinning, I reckon.
Yeah. And obviously, once you've watched obviously the history and as it's gone through, there's like a couple of Easter eggs and what if that happens, and is that what that means? You know,
so I think it would definitely. I mean, the amount of time that you'd have to invest to be able to go back and watch the build up to all these now is just going to be an absolute nightmare for you. It's literally going to take you about 3 weeks, if not longer, to be able to go back through and watch them all.
I think it's about 16
that's
films,
a lot of films,
I
isn't
believe.
it? I mean, they've got this obviously Avengers film, and they've got one more afterwards, haven't they? And then that wave's finished. Then that phase, it's phase 4.
Yeah, it's phase 4.
What do we need to see before Infinity War? Jesus, you got Black Panther, Captain America. What was his? Was it Civil War?
Civil War, yeah, that's the one with it wasn't Ultron, was it? Oh, I'm talking rubbish now. I'd watch them all.
Thor Ragnarok. Obviously, that one only came out not that long ago. Yeah. There's about 16 films for you to be able to get stuck into. They're all just builders up into the next one. Obviously, Black Panther was the most recent one to this Infinity War one. But I kind of am looking forward to it, but I'm sort of glad that it's coming to an end, because I feel like these kind of films need to take a step in another direction. Obviously, we've seen DC try and step into the other direction with Suicide Squad, and that just really wasn't that great, and neither was Batman vs Superman. But I just want another Batman film now. I prefer Batman. He's my favourite superhero, so I just want more Batman, really, if I can. If not, Christian Bale's not going to do it again, but I feel like they need to do something. That's obviously, we'll just have a little quick catch up. Gaming news this week, when I've had a look around again, because it's like the ramp up to E3, there's not been that much going out there. It's mostly still God of War news, reviews, no spoilers. Conveniently enough, there's still no spoilers, which I'm still quite happy about, because now I've obviously got the opportunity to play it, which I'm going to do at some point this week. I'm going to get stuck into it, so I'm going to go into that fresh-faced, so I can give my reviews back on that, obviously, when I come to do this. Also, before we start, a little bit more house cleaning. I will not be putting out another We've Got to Be in Your show for about 2 weeks after this one. I'm going to see if I can try and get a few in-between ones this week pre-recorded, so I can start to release them. But I'm just not going to be around to get them recorded, so you'll have the 10th one, hopefully. I might be able to put out at some point this week, or at least have it scheduled for Sunday. But apart from that, I'm still going to be knocking around on Twitter and things like that, but I'm not going to be doing a We've Got to Be in Your show. Tiger saying, I want a Bidman film, The Ginger Avenger. That oh my god, could you imagine that? It'd just be some absolute bean talking crap, doing bad streams. I don't even know what what would your superhero power be, mate? If you got to choose one, what would it be?
Me? I'd probably go for smelly.
You've already got that. You've already got that ability, mate.
Something like that, you know. Well, that's it. No, it's an hard one, isn't it? It's a really hard one. But yeah, a film about
you. Know what I need? It wouldn't have to be a superhero film. It'd just have to be like some stupid slapstick comedy kind of film. You know, like what's he called? Absolute legend who did like airplane and stuff like that. Liam. Oh my god.
Oh,
Liam Neeson. That's
Liam
it.
Neeson.
Yeah, like a film like him.
Yeah.
Liam Neeson. Yeah, that proper slapstick film, something like that. But I don't.
Cross with Jackass.
My body's absolutely broken, mate. I don't need anything else. Like you absolutely rinsing me last week at Airsoft. I still feel broken from that.
Oh yeah, I've got welts on my back.
I got absolutely blasted through that murder wall. Honest to God, I couldn't move after that. There was just three of us down in pain, holding our backs after someone absolutely rinsed us with those. But yeah. Again, we haven't had that much news this week, so the first piece of news that I'm going to run with is I'm just going to plug something. I'm going to plug something that we've been working on, mostly the lads. But if I flick my screen to this, boom, PES Universe Option File V4. It actually dropped on Friday to Diamond and Gold members. It has now been rolled out since then on Saturday to the Silver members. It is just a little bit of a heads up if you haven't already got it. If you log into the site, go through to the membership hub, whichever one you're interested in. You will just log in and go to the page. You'll be able to pick it up from there. Bronze members, if you're in here, you'll be able to pick that up from Wednesday. Right there is everything that you need to know. I'll just zoom in a little bit more. If I can remember how to zoom in on this. Mate. This is for all you audio users. This is going to be an absolute blinder for you. So I'm just going to zoom in a little bit. So you've got the Premier League, the Championship, La Liga 2, Serie A, Serie B, Liga NOS, Liga 1, Liga 2, Eredivisie, I can never pronounce that, Bundesliga, A-League, Chinese Super League, a whole host of international teams ready for the World Cup. So you'll be able to just import them in straight away, one-click upload, bosh, you're all good. As I said, just in time for the World Cup. So literally, it's just a little bit of a heads up for that bit of news. Something that people who know me from the PES community, in case you didn't already know, but I can't believe if you didn't know. Well, yeah, head over to PESuniverse.com to be able to download that. Sign up if you haven't already, and you are good to go with your PES 2018 copy. As I said, just a little bit of housekeeping. The only actual news feed that I thought was interesting enough this week that wasn't a Battle Royale game, and that's obviously something that me and you are going to talk about in detail in a bit, was the fact that the PS2 lifetime sales has now hit 79 million, nearly topping the PS3. Now the PS3 I think was out for roughly about 12 years maybe, and the PS4 has been out for 5 and it's nearly toppled it, which says a lot about the player base from the PS4 to the Xbox. Obviously you are an Xbox user, aren't you, Lawro?
I certainly am. Very rare now though these days, since obviously we were talking about before PC gaming now. Yeah, missing the gaming obviously from Airsoft week to week, so I thought.
What was your like? Obviously, I know what it is, but people here don't know. What was your go-to game when you was gaming?
Mate,
if you want to give your backlog, I'm all ears.
Yeah. Well, Counter-Strike, mate, was when I first started all those years ago. Mate, I played so much Counter-Strike. People say these days I've done 300 hours. I bet I've done like thousands in Counter-Strike. And then I used to make all these different spray files and you know what you can tag on the wall and that. But yeah, then what else have I been playing? But Gears of War was a big one for me. Like I said, more of a casual game.
If you want to predate everything and go back to the roots, and you want to talk about what it is that got you into gaming in the first place, everyone's all ears. Do you know what I mean? The floor is yours today.
Yeah. Oh, bloody hell. I'd have to think about it, mate, because there's that much stuff, and obviously I'm an old man now, so it's one of those. Yeah, let me have a think about it while we're going through this.
Yeah,
podcast.
we can come back to it, mate. It's absolutely not a problem. I mean, obviously from conversations that we've had, you used to be quite a big FIFA player and things like that. Back in the day, doing career mode and things like that. So yeah, if you want to have a think about it, maybe we can come back to it. As I said, the floor's yours. We've got well over an hour to be able to talk through stuff like this. So I'm just going to run through the first couple of paragraphs from this GameSpot GameSpot's article. Sorry, I feel like I'm getting a cold as well. I had to put cold sore cream on because it's cold sore season, so my mouth's dry as hell. Sony has released its earnings for most of the recent quarter, which ended in March 31st, 2018. This provides us with an updated look at the PlayStation business, which saw another 2.5 million PS4 units sold worldwide during this quarter. That brings its lifetime sales of the console approximately 79 million units, which means that the system has nearly toppled the sales in total for the PS3, which passed 80 million back in 2013. Now, I think it's going to go on about this for throughout the article, but I don't think the PS3 got discontinued till around 2015. So they obviously still had a little few dribs and drabs in sales there, but we'll carry on with the article anyway. Sales for Sony's Game and Network Services division increased 18% to 1,930.8 billion yen for the quarter. The company attributes this in large part to the increase in PS4 software sales, which were up 52 million units during the same period last year. This included the major uptake in digital sales, as 43% of games were sold digital compared to 37% to the year prior. I don't know how this is going to go in the future with it just being solely digital. Obviously, I like the fact that I can go into a shop and pick up a game if I wanted to. But the fact that the games at the moment are more expensive digitally than they are in the shop, considering that you have to spend time downloading the game, and if you're not on a fibre optic plan, you're going to have to wait a long time. Not to mention that if you are a casual gamer and you want to buy a game digitally, most of the time people are going to have capped data allowances. So like, I think like round here in the UK anyway, as far as I'm aware, you can have like 50 gigabyte packages, 100 gigabyte packages, or unlimited. So obviously I'm on the unlimited one because the amount of gaming, streaming and things like that I do. But I was downloading not Gears of War, God of War before, and it's something like 65 gig. Do you know what I mean? That's a lot of gig to be able to take through. Especially if I was on a capped service at 50, you won't be able to play it. So I don't even know why if this is the case that we have to download the game, why is the game even on the disc? Why do we have a disc? Is the disc just for security reasons or what? I don't understand it. Someone will have to explain that to me down the line, but as it stands, it looks like digital are moving forward with their games being sold, which is good and bad. Obviously, if you are a collector of games, then it's probably not going to be great for you. You probably have to print off your own boxes and box art and things like that just to be put on a shelf. But yeah, I don't know how it's going to go in the future. Sony also made a note of increasing PlayStation Plus subscribers. As of March 31st, it has over 34.2 million members, up from 26.4 million a year earlier and 20.8 million a year prior. The company announced recently that it will stop offering free monthly games to PS3 and Vita game owners as part of the subscription beginning of this year. So March 2019. For the current fiscal year, which will run through to March 2019, Sony says it expects sales for the division to drop about 2%. That's due primarily to a decrease in PS4 sales, which isn't a major surprise given that we're coming up to the console's 5-year anniversary. Whew. I know. Tell me about it.
Mate.
The thing is, I'm trying to get better at reading faster and more clearer. I don't know if that's coming across quite well, but it's something that I'm trying to work on. Okay, breathe. So
it was beautiful.
The 2% drop could be absolutely anything. It could be the fact that people are crossing over to buy Xbox Ones now that they're starting to do a lot of. But I mean, the last couple of weeks or the last month or the last couple of months, it started to catch my eye. The fact that they're starting to bring out more of these backward compatible games. So the likes of the Xbox 360 and the Xbox original games are starting to become backwards compatible now. With the Xbox One, so if you owned the game 10 years ago, chances are it's starting to get ported to the console, so you can just put your old disc into the console and play it on your Xbox One. The amount of games that I had for my 360 and still have, because obviously the missus plays the 360 quite frequently, so there's games that I might, if I had the ability to, like the Red Dead Redemption for instance, if you had the original copy of that game and you put it in your Xbox One now, they've actually done a firmware update or software update so that the game's actually in 1080p. Like they've increased the frame rates and everything on it as well. So the game just looks a lot prettier. Also, the Nintendo Switch is absolutely beasting. So there's a lot of things that are taken into consideration. They're obviously not going to say our competition are taking 2% off us. The fact that the console's been out 5 years has absolutely no unless people's consoles are blowing up, they're not going to go out and buy a new console. I've had my console since day one, and it still sounds like a jet engine. But until I get a 4K TV or whatever, I don't even feel like I need to go and buy another one or this dies. So it's just one of them things at the moment that the sales are dramatically going to start declining, but that's nothing to do with the fact that the console is absolutely beasting. I just think the people who wanted one have either got one, and PlayStation aren't offering anything new to the new customers, whereas the Xbox and the Nintendo Switch obviously are. So I think that's where that 2% is going to come from further down the line. Right, so that is literally the news that I've come up with. We've got the For Your Information segment, which I'm now going to pull up because I forgot to take it down. Let's switch back. I don't know if it's going to interest anybody, but I'm going to do this later on tonight. If you haven't already played this game, then it's probably definitely worth doing. Let's move his face down a little bit. Get a free copy of The Witcher Enhanced Edition now. Now that sounds like a really good deal, and it sounds like it's going to be for free. However, there's always hoops to jump through. There's a good chance that you played or at least been intrigued by The Witcher 3. There's also a very good chance that you missed out on the Geralt of Riviera's first outing. Now's the perfect time right now. Jesus Christ! Now's the perfect time to right that wrong by grabbing a free copy of the game that started it all. Right now, GOG. Can never remember what that stands for. He's handing out the free copies of The Witcher Enhanced Edition to anyone who plays the game on the PC. Since there's no such thing as a free lunch, there was always going to be hoops to jump through before you could download that game. For starters, you have to install Gwent, the Witcher card game. It's free to play, so that's not a huge deal. And if you dabbled in the card playing minigame, The Witcher 3, you also know it's an enjoyable pastime on your own. You can download that here. Which is I will provide the link to this in the text in a minute. If you listen to the audio, just go onto the Steam store, download the Witcher card game, and then I'll tell you how to do the rest of it in a minute. Once you've installed Gwent, click here to access your free copy of The Witcher Enhanced Edition. Note that to get your free game, you must also subscribe to GOG newsletter. You can also subscribe at any time. Again, obviously they're trying to get you to be a GOG customer. To have a look. I mean, for newsletters for games, it's probably the best thing to do anyway, because if you forget about something, it's going to get emailed directly to you. I don't think it's going to be a case of them spamming you with stuff that you don't want to know. I think I sign up to loads of gaming newsletters because there's always stuff that I'm going to miss. So if there is something I've missed, I can just flick through my emails and have a look what's going on. But you also get a free Gwent card keg, which I have absolutely no idea. But it says that it will come in handy if you continue to play Gwent. You can also install your copy of The Witcher Enhanced Edition and play that in the Kickstarter's Monster Hunting career, which launched in 2007. That's irrelevant information. But yeah, that is the easy way of getting your game, and for anyone that's in the chat, I will drop it here for you. Now, it is going to come up twice because for some reason it's using my Twitch and Mixer ID. But you'll be able to see that there.
Gwent's absolutely massive, mate. Yeah, I was speaking to Vance about it, and he was saying that they play it over in America and Canada, and it's like I don't know if they pulled it out of the game, what was before the game, but it's an actual card game that they play at like a gaming
like physical cards.
It's absolutely ginormous.
Okay.
Yeah, physical cards.
That's interesting. I've never even heard of it before.
I tried it in the game and it was solid. Obviously, I must have give it some more time, but yeah, I tried it for like half an hour and I was
it's like I used to collect Pokemon cards, but I never used to battle with them because I had no idea what any of it did. Like, I've even tried to watch YouTube videos since, like not even as recent as just before Christmas, to have a look at find out how the Pokemon cards actually battled with each other, and I've still none the wiser. It's straight over my head. I just can't. I don't understand it. Like, I understand that you got the card, and I understand that they've got attacks on there, but you need like these power cards and stuff like that to go through them, and it's just mind blown. I can't do it. Some things I can adapt to, some things I can't. I don't think card games, apart from Snap or Gym Rummy, that's probably games that I can play. I don't know. Everyone's different, aren't they? So, obviously that is the gaming news and the For Your Information segment. Again, I apologise, it's obviously not a quick one. Sorry, it's not a long one. But unless you want to hear more Gears of War stuff, then that's all I can give you, because that is literally all I can find regarding decent news anyway. So, let's get into what have you been playing now. Obviously, me and you, I've streamed a lot this week. When I come home from work, and we've obviously been partnering up in duels and stuff. Would you like to go through the games that we've gone through and your thoughts and feelings about them first?
Yeah, so to start with the Geometry Wars that I've been playing since obviously been back on Xbox One. It's quite an old game. I think it was 2004 it was released. It's dead basic. It's like you're this little ship flying around, shooting these shapes that are coming at you to kill you, collecting like these little multipliers. But it's absolutely mental.
I'm literally just about to. So it's the Xbox One version. Yeah, I'm just about to bring it up.
Yeah, I think it's on all platforms.
Geometry Wars 3 is that the one?
Yeah, Dimensions.
Right, so I'm just gonna whack this up.
Like I say, it's dead easy to pick up playing. Obviously, if you've got time, smash it. If you're not, put it down. It's one of those dead basic.
Xbox One gameplay.
It's
that's loud. God, that looks super fast paced.
Honestly, you got your wits about you when you're playing. Like, it starts off dead slow, and you think, "All right, yeah, got this." 10 seconds later, you're like, "Holy shit!"
You know, mate, I think this game would probably give me an epileptic fit.
A couple of people have said that who've obviously tried playing it at mine. Like, how the hell do you know what you're doing? It's like
once you've learned how to play it, I imagine it's probably that guy's just got rinsed.
And that's quite an easy game mode. There's other ones where you have to fly into a bubble to shoot, and when you come out the bubble, they can chase you around, and you have to get to another bubble, obviously to shoot them again.
Tell you what, whoever's playing this is absolutely kicking ass. Only Sublime, you're not wrong. He's finished that level, but yeah.
Well, like I say, I'm back into gaming slowly but surely. So I just thought I'll pick the Xbox One pad back up.
Have a play around.
A blast. Yeah, and obviously when I'm not doing that, I'm on here with you doing H1Z1 or.
I've definitely just gone back to the welcome screen by accident. Yeah, so that's Geometry Wars. It's not the kind of game that I'll probably get to sink my teeth into. I think it's a bit too fast paced for me. My eyes would probably just have a shit, and that's the first swear word.
Hey, get the pound out,
I've got a few pounds in my little ham. Piggy bank thing. Every time I just have a bit of spare change, it just goes into that. But yeah, that's obviously Geometry Wars. It's not the kind of game that I think I'd ever play. It's a bit too fast paced for me. It looks interesting though. I mean,
yeah,
it looks very. What do you call them games? Like shoot 'em ups? Is it shoot 'em ups? Where you like fly across the screen and stuff like that.
Yeah. I can't remember. There's a word for it, isn't there? There's a word that they use these days.
Yeah, it's not. I can't get into games like that. The amount of times that I tried to play, like when I've gone to the arcade club and they have all of them in the old arcade cabinets, and I think, yeah, I'll have a blast of that, and then I just end up dying straight away, and it's like, oh god, they're just a coin sink. I can't handle games like that. So obviously that was your Geometry Wars. I know. I say everyone knows what they said the other ones are. Cobra, what's going on, mate? But come on, let's talk about them because I'm ready to talk about it.
Where do you want to start?
It's your pick, mate. Dealer's choice.
Let's do Radical Heights because obviously I've been playing that longer than the
best game. That is easily at the moment. It is my game of the year by far. I absolutely love it.
It's addictive, mate. You said, "Oh, play it. Let's try this game." I was like, "Holy crap!"
But literally from everything, just when you drop down. I'm just trying to get a video up of me absolutely smacking people. But even when you're dropping down, that's my ringtone. That music that you find that happens when you enter the arena as you're dropping down. That is my ringtone. It is all about the 80s. But yeah, see, easily it's my favourite battle royale game, and at the moment I'm playing quite a lot of them. But by far, it's just everything about it. I don't know if it's like the 80s aesthetic. Or what, but it's turning me on when I play it. Right, here we go.
Yeah, it's over.
Full screen. This is me kicking ass on I think Wednesday night. I swore a little bit then. Oh, do you know what? Oh, come for me. Come on.
I think as well because it plays like a game show, doesn't it? So it gives you that vibe of,
That's it.
Let's do this. I'm going to be number one.
It's on Jim.
And obviously got the spin to wins. That makes it like, you know, that is the...
Oh my
For
god.
me, it is.
Baby is
class.
on fire.
So
yeah,
that's
just me getting my 2 kills in there. No, they're nothing special kills, but you know what I mean. You still have to get them in, don't you? Get them points. Points earn prizes. But yeah, it's just that the whole 80s aesthetic of this game. Like when you pick out a gun out the cabinet and it starts playing Danger Zone and stuff like that, and the fact that you can get money, you can find clothes in the game, and then they're available to purchase in the shop using the currency that you can get in the game. No other game, as far as I'm aware, is doing that. So I just can't get enough of it. Like every time I've got 5 or 10 minutes, I could just jump in. I started playing it last night in the front room with my Xbox 360 controller because Samantha was in bed, and I thought, do you know what? I just want a few games. So I found this layout on how to use your Xbox 360 controller. Now the 360 controller I've got is the one that I had, I think, when I first got my console. So it's a wired one, but like, the controls are all knackered. There's just no resistance in them at all anymore. So it wasn't the best experience. However, like the way that it plays, even on the Steam Link or Steam Box or whatever it is that you want to call it, it still plays perfectly, and it's easily one of my games of the year. Like it's been out. How long has it been out? It's been out less than 2 weeks, hasn't it?
Yeah.
And the development on it's been 5 months. So they started it in November last year. It's just the amount of enjoyment I'm getting out of a game that's been in development for 5 months. It just shows that you don't need these AAA £60 price tags on games to be able to enjoy them, especially when you're joining up with your friends. I can't wait for Squads to come in because I think Squads is going to be the next stage in it.
Could you imagine all rolling
it was
up
so
on
funny, wasn't it?
BMXs?
It's like 4 years, there's 2 BMXs and stuff like that. That'd be sick. I'm yet to wait. In fact, I've got the clip here. I'm going to roll this. I've got a clip of me being in the final 2. But I'm gonna. You'll be able to see it yourself. You make your own mind up and find out if I was robbed. I was robbed, but you can find out for yourself why. It just looks like shit when it's playing like this. Is there any way you can change the quality? Yeah. So I'm playing in 480. It does actually run in 1080. That looks slightly better. Oh, if there's an advert, I'll go mad. There you go. So this is me in the final 2.
Do you not think it's missing, or they might end up throwing in skateboards? Because obviously 80s and that, it was all skateboards.
Oh god, this is tense as shit.
Rockers and things. So get those skateboards. Come on, skating down the road. That'd be pretty.
Where's that? So this is me. This is the final battle. 2v2, mano on mano.
You're all unlucky, mate. There, dead unlucky.
You can see my keyboard crunching. Right, so I can see him. He's in the road. Look, I didn't even sight. No! Oh god, I didn't even sight. Oh no! And the rock. And that I was robbed. That is a robbery if I've ever seen one. Absolute robbery. It's a travesty that this game let that happen to me. The amount of hours that I've sunk into this game already, and a rock got in the way and stopped me from shooting him. That's my rant over. But it's like every time I've played in the night and I've just done my little silent streams, it's like Ice Stream uploads up here and he's like, it'll get to 11:45 and he'll be like, go on, just one more. And it's like, do you know what? Go on, then I'll have another one. And it's just one of them things, like the maximum, like get into the top 2, to get into the final 10, to get into the final 5. The game mode lasts about 12 to 15 minutes. Do you know what I mean? So it's like quick. It's like the same amount of time that you'd play a game of PES or a game of FIFA or whatever else. So it's just literally as fast as you want to get into the game, you're in. But I imagine there's so many more things that they want to get involved in it, which I'm just excited for the next patch news to come out. Because the fact that you can jump through windows now, that obviously wasn't in the game before it got patched. The weapons and I think the one thing that they can take from H1Z1, sorry, not H1Z1, from like PlayerUnknown Battleground is like I found out. I thought in H1Z when you could find scopes and stuff like that, but the scopes are already on the weapons. But like PlayerUnknown, when you get your weapon, you can slap a scope on it. But they started to introduce like new scopes into weapons. So for instance, there was the Python that didn't have a scope on it, but you can find ones that do now. And so it's a little bit easier to, because you can obviously go from third to first person, so it's a little bit easier to shoot. But apart from that, I'm like, I can't wait to be able to get back on it. And chances are I'm going to be shouting to you in a bit. Do you fancy a few games? And we're just going to go on it and cruise.
Oh hell yeah! Oh hell
but
yeah!
I just can't.
That,
it's just so good. I I don't know how many times I can say it because it's been like the last 3 podcasts I've just been talking about it, but the more I play it, the more I want them to make the game work for more people, because I think they were saying that at any one time there's only like just short of 2,000 people, which in hindsight isn't a lot of people, but it is for a game that's been out for 5 months, and it's not been critically acclaimed as being the next best thing. Obviously the Doc's played it and he's enjoyed it. He wants a few things to be changed in there. But there's obviously room for improvement with every single game. But I think this is definitely on the right track, and it's there's something that's not out there at the moment. So you've got Fortnite that's the very, not childish, but, well, yeah, you can say childish but challenging in the fact that what the graphics are like, obviously what the player models are like. It's not the hard. I don't think that it's the hardest game in the world. And when I've jumped on with squads, I don't know if it's because I'm just playing with good people, because the likes of Beans, Cobra, Pattern, Shogun, Fish, all of those people that I've played with, they're all exceptional Fortnite players. They're unbelievable. Like the way that they can build is nowhere near to what I can build like. But obviously you've got PlayerUnknown and H1Z1, which is the more mature market. For this, it's just people who love that 80s nostalgia, love them 80s kind of films, love their 80s kind of music, the whole aesthetic of you being able to jump out of a plane and do a forward roll when you hit the deck. It just takes everything to that extreme and a time into a time zone, like a time warp, really. But I know a lot of people are waiting for this to come with the PS4 because it was announced that they're going to be bringing it on there eventually. So it's definitely something that I'm most excited about playing on either console. It really doesn't bother me at the moment. After playing with a controller yesterday, I can easily see why playing with a keyboard and mouse is so much better than playing with a controller. I don't know if that's because I was just used to playing that particular game on a keyboard and mouse, and I'm like, I want to roll. Oh shit, it's L1 rather than E. But yeah, it's an unbelievable game. Honestly, I can't wait to be able to play it again. They should be paying me to say this. I tweet them all the time, and they actually tweet me back. They're quite a nice gaming company like that. But they should be paying me to say it. So H1Z1, me and you picked that up during the week again as well. I played that game when it first became free to play, which was about a month and a half ago. And I enjoyed it, but I thought I need someone to be able to play this with me because I'm not a solo rider when it comes to games. Unless it's a story game, I'm not a solo rider. So I shouted up my boy, and he answered the call. How did you feel about the first 3 games that we played in that game?
In love. It's another one, like I say, it's the same principles as Radical Heights, but obviously, like you say, the graphics and the way things are, obviously after I was playing DayZ, it felt more like that. Obviously without the zombies, but killing each other, brilliant.
What did you think about the fact that the safe zone in Radical Heights is done on a grid format, whereas likes of Fortnite, PlayerUnknown, and H1Z1 is a circle that gets smaller, or chemical gas or whatever? Do you think that changed the aspect of the game?
Oh, big time. Obviously, we fell foul, haven't we, a few times on Radical Heights with the squares being closed up, and we're like, crap, how do we get out of this situation? Or we've left it too long to get there. There's only like one route, whereas obviously the circle is
faster than you can run as well.
Yeah, easy. And that gas, obviously, it's. I tried it obviously after we played it on my own and died straight away with that gas. Yeah, there's just no way about running it. But yeah, it gives you that the way obviously depends on where you're going to land, doesn't it? With that,
with H1Z1, I found that the fact that you can actually drop wherever you want on the map obviously hinders you the further you are away from the circle. But the fact that you can drop anywhere you want, loot, and then get there. I mean, it's all luck of the drop. If you're dropping miles away from the circle and you found a car, which I did actually find a car last night when I had a quick go. I did find a car, so obviously they are more. It was literally in like a caravan park. I thought it was in the scene in Snatch when I found the car. But yeah, it's just one of them. I found it and I just drove off, and I easily managed to build enough distance between the chemical gas that was coming down, so that really wasn't a problem. However, obviously when you're on foot, the gas is a hell of a lot faster than you are. So if you're getting caught in it, you're miles away from everything. Your game's pretty much done over. I think I was playing with you. You ended up dying, and I had enough bandages and medical supplies to get halfway to the gas. But then after that, it's kind of like, what is the point? I can't find anything to drive. So you just kind of fall foul, really. But yeah, with both of those games, the only one that I can see going forward, with both of them really, H1Z1's going to be the first mature shooter, shall I say, that's going to be coming to the PlayStation. So the amount of money that they're going to make from hitting the PlayStation server, because it's going to be a free-to-play game and people are going to buy skins. I know people that have already spent well over £100 in skins on Fortnite, and into
end of May.
the open beta starts in the beginning of May, and I signed up to be one of the testers. Obviously, nice. I might not be able to play it, but hopefully something should come through in the next couple of days, so I can actually get that streamed or get it played or whatever. But yeah, for the actual game itself is coming out late May for the PlayStation, so that's something I'm 100% looking forward to, because there's instances where obviously I can't get to my PC, but I can get to my PlayStation. So if I can have that opportunity to be able to play with my friends, jump on that and have a good couple of hours on that game, then I'm all for it. Again, I'm just happy that the fact that I can play these games already on my Steam Link downstairs in the front room if I wanted to. It's just a ball ache using the controllers. If I could find a cheap keyboard and mouse that I can use, then that'll be even better somewhere down the line. But I don't really want wires running through my house. I've tried to minimise the wire space as it is, so I don't really want to have more of that coming through the house. So obviously that's pretty much the games that I've been playing. Obviously I did stream some PES yesterday evening with quite a few of the lads actually. I think I had over 35 to 40 people in my stream last night, which is crazy considering I haven't streamed that game in well over a month. I don't know if it was just because the people was craving for it and none of the big hitters was on last night. It was literally just a spur of the moment thing. But yeah, it's just one of them things where I just jumped online. I got whooped in divisions and the lads were like, do you want to do the co-op comp? I was like, yeah, so we got a few of the community members in. We had a right good laugh. We ended up playing 4 games. I think we won 3, lost 1. So it's just one of them at the moment. I played a game today with Atlas. I think he's still streaming now, so if you want to watch some PES, go over there and see him. But yeah, he's streaming that as we speak now. But yeah, it's just one of them games. At the moment, it's not dead. They've put a massive patch into the game just in time for the World Cup again. So we've covered the teams that didn't have the kits. But hopefully they'll have like a nice aesthetic to when the World Cup comes, just to breathe that little bit more life into the game. It's been out, I think, maybe 7 or 8 months now. And the viewership and the numbers are starting to be on the decline. It's always the case at this point of the year when you're expecting E3 news about the game coming out at E3. People are just excited for that again. As soon as the beta drops, as soon as the demo drops, PES 18 is going to be on the side. PES 19 is going to be at the forefront of everyone's minds. Obviously, we can start doing what we need to do in PES Universe. And start getting the ball rolling in that aspect. But apart from that, it's been quite quiet. And obviously, I'm just going to shout out Mr. Mostacular as well for dropping me about Doom 3 yesterday. It was a game that I streamed yesterday morning for around 2.5 hours. I wasn't expecting to be on it half as long as that. But again, that game came out in 2004. Now it doesn't hold up as well as some games from that era did, but you can tell it's a proper PC game. Like, the graphics are so much better shading than they did on the PlayStation 2, obviously for the time that it came out. But yeah, it's a game that I was really enjoying. I don't know why I jumped in on Veteran, because I just kept on getting my arse handed to me. But I think I'm probably about 30% of the way through it, which is something I'm quite enjoying. But there isn't any other games that I'm actually excited about. Are you excited for like any of the E3 news? Is there any game in particular, barring obviously you're a big Red Dead fan, you're looking forward to that coming out at the end of the year? But is there any other games that you've heard any inkling about that you're interested in seeing?
No, I haven't. No. Just Red Dead. I just keep checking for that, really. Because obviously, like I said to you,
it is an unbelievable game. Like the first one, I'm happy at the fact that if you people, I've already mentioned this again, but if you already own the game and you've got an Xbox One, you don't have to go out and buy it again. You can just replay it, give yourself that refresher. And it's on PlayStation now. If I wanted to play it, I'd just sign up to PlayStation now. But there's no way I'm giving PlayStation £15 to be able to play that game when I can pick it up from a 360 for. I imagine the price has probably skyrocketed again now it's able to play on that, but you could probably pick it up for pennies. But yes, it is definitely a game that I'm seriously looking forward to. But E3, the fact that we've got a man on the ground at E3 this year with the Midnight Kid, I'm sure everybody's gonna hear a lot, but he's gonna. I swear to God, if he isn't FaceTiming while he's over there during them stands, because there's some absolute. There's. I'm gonna roll back a little bit. The fact that the Nintendo Switch is doing as good as it does, there's going to be so many more games that are coming. AAA developers are going to be backing that console, and I'm fairly certain there's going to be some massive games that are going to be announced for that console, as well as the rest of the other consoles as well. Because it's not hard to be able to bring out a console game that most people play. Like PlayerUnknown, for instance, and Fortnite are both running on mobile, so there is absolutely no way that game cannot be run on the Switch. The first person that puts a Battle Royale game on the Switch is going to win the Battle Royale war. It's as simple as that. If these games are running on the mobile device, there is no reason why they should not be running on a Switch. Switch can run at 1080. It can also run at 720 while it's in your hand. So, do you know what I mean? It's an absolute no-brainer. Get it ported over. You're going to make some money. People are going to be double dipping. If they've got that game for the console, you can guarantee that it's going to be people are going to be buying skins for the Switch version, the portable version. It's just the way it is. Obviously, I like when I bring my guests on there. I like my guests to have a main topic of discussion. Now, it doesn't have to be about games. It doesn't have to be about digital media. Is there anything that you're more passionate about away from these video games and away from digital media? Because I know what you're passionate about. And if you want to talk about it, mate, again, the floor is absolutely yours.
Yeah, okay, so I do something called airsoft, if nobody knows about it. It's very similar to paintballing, but paintballing's for girls. It's more tactical, you've got more stats, you got to think about what you're doing rather than just run around like a dickhead with a gun, wasting paint, which costs obviously like 50, 60 quid at a time. The guns look real as possible. You can ask Bibby about that.
Honest to God, when you brought me over to play that, I've played it with you twice now, and both times I have left in pain, like pure pain, with that game.
People ask what's it like, and I'm like, if you play Modern Warfare, anything like that, Call of Duty, it's like that, but for real. Obviously, you don't die for real and all that, but yeah, same sort of game modes. The site that I play at, he uses a lot of Siege games. From, is it Rainbow Six Siege? Yeah, he does a lot of game type modes from that, and they just play really well in real life. I come home and I can't get to sleep for about an hour and a half because I'm still in.
Well, it is one of them games. It requires absolute concentration because the fact that you're up and down stairs constantly and you don't know if someone's going to be around the corner. There's been times where I think I've got the edge on someone because I know that they're around the corner, but there's no way of me seeing them before they don't see me. Now, if they don't know that I'm there, I might have half a chance. But there's been times where I've tried to scoot behind something as fast as I can while spraying, and it just doesn't work. Like, obviously, when you're indoor and using an M16 like I was using last week, fair enough. Yeah, it's super long. You can't peek it round the corner. Like, they see you coming before you've even tucked your head round because they see the gun poking round the corner. It's literally like, if I wasn't in this screen, yeah, you can see me missing stuff, you'd see the gun poking round the corner like this before I stick my head and go, hello! That kind of thing. It's just, it's one of them things, but if you can, without putting too much money, obviously telling people how much you spent a ridiculous amount of money on the guns and the kit that you've got, haven't you? It's an absolute money sink. Like, I hate having to buy my pre-season gear for football. Like, I always buy a new tracksuit pair of bottoms, I always buy a new top, I always buy a few training tops, and that probably comes overall, and a new pair of boots, so it probably comes to about just over 100, maybe 150 quid overall before the season even starts. And you put way, mate, I don't even think you'd be able to buy a clip for that amount of money for your guns.
Well, no, yeah. It is expensive, but like I say, for people who never tried it before, it's not like any other sport. Like when you go to football and you have a kickabout, you always got the one or two dickheads that are like, I'm really, really good at this and that, and they'll take the piss with you. Where with airsoft, you come and play the game, everybody's welcoming. It's a social event, so we have a laugh, some banter and that before we play. Then when we get into the zone, you have your gunfights and whatnot, and then in between games, you're going back to the safe zone, going, that was a great shot, that, mate, or having the banter, that was a good firefight, that, brilliant, that. And there's no, like, obviously there's cheaters in it. It's like anything. Everybody wants to cheat to win, but the atmosphere and the social side.
Yeah,
It's
and both times I've been, honestly,
You
if
know.
I had the money to be able to sink into it and the time, then I would 100% be committed to it. Just unfortunately, it falls on the 2 days that I play, Thursday and a Sunday. What's the name of the place that we play at?
Yeah.
Shout them out.
So
And that's
cool.
in where is it? It's in Bury, is it? It's in Oldham.
It's in Oldham, so it's that's one of his sites. He's actually trying to get an outdoor site at the moment to do LARPs, so he's thinking of a Fallout 4 live action role play thing. So obviously there'll be all sorts of things. I might be able to tell you more about it when I know more.
Well, when you shouted up to me, I think it was the early parts of last year, and you was like, mate, there's going to be a Fallout 4 type of thing, 24 hours. You have to sleep, you have to go out, and when you shoot people, you can take the bottle caps, you can go to a vendor, you can get you can buy stuff, and I was just like, mate, sign me up for that. That is amazing.
That's definitely going to be happening this year. He's definitely said that. One of the things I'm looking forward to, that sort of thing, is, can you imagine they all fall asleep, you run in, raid them silently, and you back out, and they're like,
yeah,
where the fuck's all the coins gone? All the the bottle tops.
That'd be unbelievable.
It's
It's something that 100% I'll be up for. Whatever I've got planned that weekend, it's not happening. Apart from if it's my wedding, obviously. I can't get out of that one. But yeah, obviously I would 100% be up for that. That'd be sick.
But going back to the price and everything, so if you say, for instance, some of your mates come just to try it out, you're looking at 25
the whole day.
quid. Do you know what I mean? Just for the whole day. That's gun hire, face protection hire, and your BBs. Whereas obviously paintball, it's like, why is it 60, 70?
Oh yeah, because you have to buy. Yeah, you have to buy your pellets. You have to buy your. You rent your overalls, rent your mask, everything else. But the BBs aren't as expensive as the paint.
No, you get something like 3,000 BBs for like.
Well, I bought a pack of 5,000, didn't I? Because I knew he was there all day. I bought a pack of 5,000, and I probably used about 2,000. Just said, yeah, you're going to use them more than I am, so I'll just give you the bag. I'm not going to use them anytime soon.
Yeah. And it's like anything, as you get better at it, obviously, when you first start, you're just spamming the trigger like mental. I could go for a full bottle in a day, whereas now, I could take a couple of clips and it'll last me the night. Because obviously, you're picking your shots, you know when to take your shots, rather than going, shall I take it now? Obviously, you know then. You get a feel for it. People
playing indoor as well, obviously, you can't have it on full auto, you've got to have it on semi-automatic. Yeah, so it's like, boom, boom, rather.
I think it's 240 mile an hour, 350 FPS they come at you at. So, can you imagine? Obviously, I don't mind CQB, so close range. Yeah, it hurts, but you know what? It's part of the game.
Big shout out to Ant for doing Hunt the Stag. Jesus Christ, there is no way I would have been doing that. Pinning 7 balloons to him and just it being a free for all, like 14 against 1. He got absolutely hammered. Like I don't know what got his pistol that he uses has got some kickback on it. Like when he shoots, it has blowback on it, which I thought was absolutely incredible. Oh my god, when he got me right in the tip, right in the areola bit, right in the nip, and I thought I was gonna cry. It hit me that hard. Like I was like, oh, I've got him. I blasted him. Didn't hit the balloon, but he just turned around, one shot, bam, and I was like literally on the floor, holding my chest. I was like, I thought I was bleeding. It hit me that hard.
But like I said, I'd do it every day if I could. If I was a millionaire, I would play different venues every day, because I just think it ranges from like a couple of if you play with like 4 or 5 players aside, it plays different to obviously in the dark as well. That site that you played at, played at the dark and the light, and obviously it's two different.
It's night and day.
Fish, innit? You know what I mean? It's.
But yeah, that's that was the hardest part for me when we was playing the orbs and stuff like that, because people was trying to take underneath where it was pitch black, you couldn't see a thing. But you're also like every part of your senses is extremely heightened. Like you're listening for someone to be walking, so everybody's completely silent because you're waiting for someone to make the first move, whilst you're also trying to see in the pitch black. Like you're waiting for your eyes to adapt, because it's such an open venue, barring the bottom floor, that you can go through the first two, go outside and have the first 2 floors. You can't see anything while you're down below. So it's just trying to climb over them big plastic hay bales or whatever they are, get over, carry in your gun, just trying to hear for who's coming, and then someone will go, there's someone around the corner. You throw your flashbang, boom, that happens. And you just got to go scoot round the corner and just try and take them out, mate. It was easily one of my favourite days, and it was so painful. Like, Monday morning, we're trying to get to work. I was just an absolute mess. I couldn't talk because of all the shouting I was doing. My body was an absolute bit, so I just looked like I had chickenpox. Had been hit that much. It was unbelievable. Like, it is a workout. But we was there. What time did we start? 10:30. And we. Yeah, and we left at 3:30, I think it was. I think I managed to get back in time for City. So that's like nearly 7 hours worth of running round, getting shot constantly for nearly 7 hours, inside and outside, crouching down. And it makes them sound like I'm being lazy, but until you actually get there and you're up and down constantly, crouching down, lying down, and just being focused and being on for that amount of time, it's so hard. Yeah.
You do need laser focus because, like you say, you could be walking up a flight of stairs thinking, "There's nobody here. Yeah. There's 5 people got lock on."
But it's not as if they're going to take turns shooting you as well. As soon as you walk through that door and there's 5 people in there, you're getting lit up by all 5 people. They're all going to take you out. So you just got to take your hits with them. Like there was instances where I thought, have I been hit? Like, because I was wearing my base layer, my t-shirt, and then a hoodie over the top, which I then pulled over my obviously head with my snood, and then my face mask. So I just wanted to eliminate any part of my head getting hit. But you shot someone, didn't you? It made them bleed in the forehead. Was it you?
I know
he shot you, but I think it was called Chris. He had a head guard on. But someone shot him in the head and his head started bleeding. You wasn't on my team, was you? He could have been Ant, actually. He could have been Ant. He was on your team. But he got shot and it went through whatever face mask he was using, and his head started to bleed. It went into his hair. But that's it. It's just one of them things, like the amount of focus that you need when you're going through. Because it wasn't a small venue, was it? It's massive. It's so big.
No. You
just got to work your way around, and you're just constantly aiming for just someone's feet crunching on the BBs. That's what you're listening out for, or someone whispering to be able to just try and flank them or do something. I love it. I absolutely love it. It's so good.
Like I say, one of the coming up to summer now. Obviously, you think that's big. Wait till I take you to one of the big events, like.
Stuff like that, I'm gonna have to get suited and booted for. I can't turn up in a tracksuit like it did for the last 2 times. I'm extremely comfortable and it does the job. Do you know what I mean? But when I want to carry something, I've got nothing to carry. Do you know what I mean? I haven't got the. I much prefer to wear the vest and try and eliminate getting shot there. But like I was saying before, with the trying to call me shots and stuff, because the ricocheting off everything, I'm trying to make sure that when I'm getting shot, I want to feel it enough for me to be able to take the hits and it not just be ricocheting or something and it hitting me and then I'm calling it. Like, I think there's probably 3 or 4 times where I classed myself as being calling my shots and taking the kill, where I probably shouldn't have done. But I just don't want to be one of them guys.
To the rebound, no, it's you know what it's like. It's 20 seconds to the respawn or whatever the thing is. Just take the hit. You do get some people. You can light them up. I used to play in a couple of other venues where 3 or 4 people, like the person go, "Nah, I've never been hit." It's like, are you kidding?
Yeah,
you see most off them. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, not taking it. But yeah, this venue it's great because that's my home for airsoft.
If it gets it can only get bigger because I think more people are going to start. Like, even before I started playing with you, there was people that I was watching doing sniper kills from like 200 yards. With a high-profile sniper and things like that. So there's obviously ways that you can either improve your own game, get better at it, or just move to a different venue to be able to hone your skills in. Because there's people that are playing like forests that are like 2 miles long. So imagine trying to do protect the bait, like capture the flag on something that's like 2 miles long. It's ridiculous.
They do some things called mil sims as well, and it's obviously military simulation. So you will get rationed ammunition. You'll be told before you go into the venue, you'll need this, and this. No mobile phones or anything. It's as if you're at war, and they'll try and emulate as much as possible, even down to when you go to like a little village. 'Cause this place will be massive. It'll be like 2 or 3 miles long. So they might have a little village somewhere. You're going to extract something out of there, and they've got this little TV crew doing a little proper, we're live here at such and such.
Yeah.
Fucking bombs and shit going off, just to heighten the simulation and the experience.
That's it. It's just one of the things. In fact, I'm gonna see if I can try and get a video up of Greavesy throwing that grenade last week. I'm gonna do this. That grenade that you give us.
Oh yeah.
I don't know if I can actually see this. I want to find out. Yes, we can. Can I press play? Yep.
So that's it. Obviously, that's a dear bit of kit. It's
a throw.
About 85 quid of.
There's some drama.
Oh no, the grenade's about 85 quid.
Just throw it.
Throw, it's probably about 2 quid a throw.
Like that, and
Yeah, just fucking throw it. It's fucking quality.
So that's literally, yeah, like you can hear that coming from a mile away. Like as soon as I think,
and when it's in the pitch black as well.
That's it, because obviously your eyes are adjusted to the dark, and then someone throws that in. Not only do you shit yourself from the sound that it makes, but the instant flash. And obviously, you've explained it to me. When you see the flash, you count the kill, don't you? Obviously, you don't want that. Like it's heavy. You don't want that hitting you and then calling the kill. But yeah, it's the amount of stuff that you can buy for it is definitely worth. If nobody's done it before and it's something that you're interested in doing, it is 100% worth doing. Like you will enjoy it if you can just take like 12 of your mates and just go and do it. You'll no doubt there will already be people there that'll show you the ropes. If they're kind enough, they'll show you the ropes and they'll, give you the benefit of the doubt with some of the things that go on there. But it's all about fact. Like you say, you've been to 3 or 4 different places, and you want to be able to be with a group of people that you can trust that they're not going to like blast your face off.
Yeah.
Count the kills and things like that, because at the end of the day, if you're getting shot with a 240 mile an hour pellet, regardless of how far away you are, it's still going to hurt. Whether you're 10 foot or you're 50 foot. There was people when we was doing the Black Hawk Down thing that was shooting out the window, and I must have been easily 100 foot away, and they were shooting me and it was still hurting. Do you know what I mean? So there is obviously that element of trust there. It's definitely worth it. As I said, if you haven't done it already, try and get it done. Find your local one. They'll be all over Facebook. People trying to get advertised for this site kind of stuff.
Just loads. There's loads in the UK. And there's loads all over
the ones that I was watching, they call like Silo something that I was watching on YouTube, and he goes to like Belgium and stuff like that to be able to play in these massive tournaments. So it'll be like 100-man deathmatch or whatever. But yeah, like you can tell when people aren't calling the hits, then he's got the sniper rifle, which I think is an absolute cheat code, using a sniper rifle. In some instances anyway, but if people aren't taking the hits, so he aims for the head, and then they won't take that hit, so he'll fire like 2 at their head, and then eventually they'll take it, because they might have turned around, and it'll hit him in the back of the head.
But to be honest, with the snipers as well, they're running even hotter. They're probably a bit more like 3.
Well, they need to be, don't they, to stay straight if you're sniping.
Yeah, and the heavier ammo as well, and so that you when you get hit with one of them, I got hit by a sniper at that airfield, and I was like, what the fuck was that?
It's like someone just
out of nowhere. I took about 4 or 5 people out and was sneaking around the side of this complex, and I'm thinking, right, I'll wait here for a bit. This guy must have been in the tree line, good 200 yards away, and he must have thought, got this guy, left arm. I was like, you know what? I took it, and I was like, fair play to him. Couldn't see him. I was looking around.
Yeah, there's loads of instances when we was playing last week, and all he had was "good shot, mate," and you like the person who shot you, there was nowhere to be seen.
Yeah, and also if a new player takes a good shot on that, it gives them confidence then to go on with it and think, right, you'll get people going, I'm going to be shit at this, I'm going to be shit at this, and then when they start shooting good,
that's it. Get
the mind at it. Everybody can play it. There's people playing in wheelchairs.
It's unbelievable how they'll be able to. unbelievable how they would be able to do that. What I'm going to do is, hopefully, you'll be able to see this in a second. I'm just going to make sure that this is visible. It's worthwhile. Right, okay, so this is the kind of thing that obviously that Lawro's been doing, and what I did with him last week. This is someone that I've already subscribed to on YouTube, and it's called Silo Entertainment. Now this bloke is like an unbelievable sniper. I just find it so satisfying watching him absolutely rinse people. I'm just going to press play on this now. You'll be able to see it. But look at the gear that he's got there. Obviously this is airsoft. This is just pellets. There's nothing special about it. But there's... That's it, yeah. But like, obviously, what he's running through here is it's just like terrain that's either been built, been left, or been absolutely destroyed, and someone's just rented the grounds around him, and they just thought, yeah, we can do this. But this bloke, he must have spent an absolute fortune. Like, how has he seen things like that? That guy's not. He didn't call his kill.
Unfortunately, whilst climbing up here, Fabius bumped his scope camera on a tree,
which
means the scope and the camera aren't aligned anymore, and the scope
You will get
lower
people
than the
though,
camera.
and I've seen it before, and you'll see it on various videos where they'll get hit because they haven't seen the person shoot them. They'll be like, "Nah, that's definitely someone shooting
I
at
think
me."
they can get away with it.
What I mean, it's one of those. If you get hit at all, yeah, you take your hit and you get your hand up because
it's going to spoil the game otherwise, isn't it?
Sports.
Absolutely spoil the game.
Yeah.
I mean, if someone's going out and spending an absolute fortune on the guns, the gear, and they're putting their trust in you, the least you can do is respawn 10 seconds later. Do you know what I mean? 10 seconds is nothing.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, obviously we've talked about that now. Is there anything that else that you want to talk about? That you want to close off with? Is literally anything else?
No, I'm happy, mate. It's been a good session, and I've enjoyed listening to you about your PES stuff. I think what you're doing is great. Obviously, I don't play PES. I haven't got a PS4, but the stuff you do for a community.
Yeah. I'm not. Obviously, I'm just one very small cog in the much bigger piece. When it comes to the people that I work with, people that I have trust with, people that I speak to every single day that I might not have ever seen before, but there's people that I speak to every day, and they literally live and breathe living in this being in this community, whether it's creating kits, creating auction files, blah blah blah. But yeah, I'm just a very small piece in there, and obviously the big props go out to everyone. Like this option file, I've had a very small inkling to do with this one compared to obviously over the years or whatever, but the fact that we've just inherited a whole Spanish community now, because I don't know the whole story, and so I'm not going to say anything that I probably shouldn't do, because I don't want to either upset the people that have come out. I don't know the whole story, but basically we've taken a whole Spanish community under our wing now, which has got like over 18,000 followers on Twitter. I think from the outside looking, I think because we're doing good things, we're being part of the community, we want people to enjoy the game, and they now are probably going to reach a bigger audience using us. And they're all fantastic editors. We won't bring them on otherwise. We trust them to be a part of us, and they're more than willing to be able to do that. So it's so lame and cheesy to say, but we are all like one little family type of thing. So everybody's got a job to do. Everybody gets on and does it, which you can't ask for much more than that when it comes down to trusting people. So yeah, now V4's out of the way, people are already starting to do another classic file with our classic option file guys. So they're already trying to bring out a version 3 of theirs. So that should be interesting again. Hopefully it might be in time before the World Cup so you can have a classic World Cup, I don't know. But the way it's going at the moment is we're all just cracking on with it. We can't wait for the new game to come out. But I do appreciate that, mate, for what you're saying. I do appreciate that a lot.
Yeah.
So I think that's literally all to everything that we've got time for this week. Again, thank you very much for coming on, mate. I know, obviously, to talking about games, like you say, you've been out of the loop, but I just wanted to bring you on because obviously you have been a friend of mine for so long. We've got so much more in common than just video games. It's just nice to have a conversation with you, formally or informally, whatever you want to say with this.
Yeah. And thanks for breaking my podcasting virginity.
Mate, literally the first time that I did this, I was like, Jesus Christ, I'm absolutely shitting myself. But now it's just like whatever's been wrong in my podcasts, are going to either continue to be wrong or have already rectified it. So the worst that's happened has already happened to me. But what I'm going to do is I'm just going to drop your Twitter URL into the chat for anyone who's lingering around that might want to give you a follow on there. So I'll drop that.
Yeah, I'll try and get some content of the airsoft stuff we've been doing.
Yeah, that honestly, if you need editing down or anything, just let me know and I'll be able to do that for you. That's not a problem. But for anyone that's audio only, that's listening to this on SoundCloud or you're listening to it anywhere else, iTunes, obviously, big man on iTunes. His Twitter is Lawro84uk. Very generic and a very creative Twitter handle. But yeah, it's been an absolute blinder. And again, thank you very much for coming on, mate. I don't know if I'm going to be able to get another one out before I go away. But until you follow me on Twitter, you know where I am. I'll give you any news as and when it comes through. But until then, guys, it's been an absolute pleasure, and I hope to see you all again very, very soon.